What the Killer Did Next is a really enjoyable, fairly new true crime series. And I believe I watched this on Crime and Investigation. I believe it's also on Sky. And it's a pretty traditional crime series wherein each episode looks at a different murder and focuses on, first of all, how that person was discovered, whether the body was discovered or if the person went missing and how that was reported. And then it looks at who the suspects are and takes us through the journey of the police investigating that right through to any potential convictions. And that doesn't sound that unique, and I'll be honest, it isn't. There are 8 episodes. Each one follows a pretty similar format. What I did like about it particularly is that we get body cam footage. We get quite a lot of police body cam footage. We get some crime scene photos. We get to see interviews with some of the suspects. It really heavily utilises the tools that it has to make a well-rounded episode. And I think each of the 8 episodes was a delight. They had enough to put together 8 little packages that were an absolute delight to watch. The thing that makes it stand out, though, is that I had not heard of any of these 8 cases. I am a seasoned true crime watcher. I've read hundreds of true crime and forensics books. I watch true crime pretty much every single day. I had not heard of any of these, and that is amazing because I watch true crime, and usually there'll be at least a few cases that I've heard of, and it gets a bit monotonous when you already know the answers to the questions. But with this, they were all fresh and exciting, and I had no idea how they would be resolved, or in certain cases who the suspects were. Each of the 8 episodes were quite different in terms of how the people were killed, how the suspect was related to them, or if they were unrelated. Really is brilliant. It's presented by Philip Glenister, who does a great job, of course, as he introduces each one and narrates them. I honestly liked this a lot more than I expected. It sounded like it would be like pretty much every other documentary, but to be honest, it just has that unique flavour, partly because of the access it has to archival footage, but also because each case is pretty fresh and unique. Is it gory? I wouldn't say it's gory as such. Also, it doesn't heavily rely on reconstructions, which is really refreshing. There are some where it's just an entirety of, it's an entire hour of reconstructions, and that's not the case here. It's got so much to use at its disposal that it doesn't need to rely on reconstruction. So I was really over the moon about that as well. It's produced by A&E Networks and Avalon Television. Thoroughly enjoyable. Because it was only out in 2019, I don't know if we'll be getting a second series, but I hope so, because I enjoyed it, and I liked how unique the cases were. I liked how it was put together. I liked the access that they had to body cam footage and things. Honestly, What the Killer Did Next does not sound unique, but it really is. If you get a chance to watch it, I watched it. I'm subscribed to Crime and Investigation on Amazon Prime. As I said, I think it's on Sky. If you get the chance to watch it, I thoroughly recommend it. I promise you will not be disappointed.